This is a 8-year-old Samsung mid-range device, Samsung Galaxy J7 2016 edition. So I did review the older brother of this device. They looks pretty much similar and the specs also kind of really similar. So this device also got a 5.5-inch AMOLED panel which is 720p, but the display is still pretty much usable although it is 8 years old. But one thing about AMOLED panel, as you know, they burn, and as you can see this one got nasty burn. The burning actually pretty much visible, as you can see here. Weirdly enough, there is no dark mode here, but one thing can be done. Actually, you can download themes here, dark themes, and you can give a darker look to the device. It will like give you a little bit usable screen. Rather than that, the display is pretty much usable. Actually, it is pretty sharp still, although it is a 720p display. As you can see here, design actually it's pretty much similar to older brother of this device. And we got flash, front facing 5 megapixel camera, and typical Samsung buttons. Right hand side the power button, and left hand side volume rockers. On the bottom, micro USB port, 3.5mm headphone jack, and a microphone hole. On the top we don't really have anything, but on the back we are getting a 13 megapixel rear facing camera with flash and the speaker. One thing which is really good on this older Samsung devices is actually camera. The camera is still holding up pretty well. I did test the camera and they're still pretty much usable. So under the hood, this is a Exynos variant of the device which runs on Exynos 7870 octa-core processor, which is not really that great, coupled with 2GB of RAM and 16GB of internal storage. So the device, when they released this device, actually it was running on Android 6, but now it updated to Android 8.1. 8.1 is still basically pretty much usable, but one thing about Samsung devices is that they are pretty slow. So this is true about this device too, although I don't really have much application here, but still it feels laggy compared to devices which runs stock Android or custom ROMs. So those devices runs pretty well, but this device actually runs a little slower than them. In terms of usability, I haven't faced any issue. This device do support 4G LTE, so in terms of connectivity, we're not going to have any kind of issue. And as for this device goes, you can still do basic browsing, you can still play the older games. Obviously you cannot play online games like Free Fire, PUBG or whatever COD. Those games are pretty much unplayable here. Even when I was playing Subway Surf here, it was stucking a lot. It cannot handle games well. I think which is really still usable is camera. So as you can see here, the camera UI, it is a little different than the older one, and you can swipe between the modes like beauty, pro. Although pro mode is here, but there is nothing much you can do. Only you can tweak the ISO and white balance, that's it. We got panorama, there is a night mode, and there is HDR. So HDR still takes time to process. Like if you take a picture, as you can see, it takes time to process, but the picture quality is actually really good. In terms of video, you can still shoot 1080p video here with both front facing and rear facing camera. As you can see, 1080p 30 fps, and the camera is still really promising and works pretty well, although other things are not really that good, but the camera is pretty much usable here. One thing you can do if you have one of these devices right now is that installing a custom ROM. As far as my experience goes with Samsung's custom ROM, they perform really well on custom ROMs than the stock UI. The stock UI is not really that great. It is stuck most of the time, and you can still get custom ROM for this device, but they are a little hard to find because most of the custom ROMs link are expired. I will try some custom ROM on this device and I will put the ROM link in the description below if I try them. But as far as usability goes, it's still pretty much usable, but if you are a hardcore user, this device is going to give you a lot of headache. And you can still get this device for $10 to $15. They are not really that expensive right now, but if you buy a second-hand one, it is likely that you're going to get burned skin because this screen burned a lot. As you can see here, this one does not look that good, but as far as usability goes, the device still works and pretty much usable still. So that's all about Samsung J7 16 edition. I think this device still can be used as a dumb phone, but you can't really hope much from this device. So that's all about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.